Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking something pretty unprecedented, the massive internal dissent rocking the Trinamool Congress, or TMC, right after their recent poll defeat in West Bengal. It's like a political earthquake, and we're going to look strictly at the reports, the claims, and the immediate fallout to see exactly how a major political apparatus handles this kind of intense, sudden pressure.
It's a question we all kind of wonder about, right? What actually happens behind closed doors when a powerhouse party takes an unexpected hit at the polls? Well, today, we're going to explore the nuts and bolts of a party under fire. We'll look exclusively at the publicly reported fractures and how the TMC leadership is actively reacting to this incredibly vocal wave of dissent.
All right, let's just dive right into the agenda for this explainer. First, we'll look at the post-poll tremors, then a truly shocking apology from a top spokesperson, a massive 5 crore ticket claim, who exactly is pointing fingers at leadership, and finally, how the party is striking back.
So, kicking things off with Part 1, post-poll tremors and the immediate aftermath. Losing the West Bengal Assembly elections was really the match that lit the powder keg here, bringing all these simmering internal issues right out into the public eye.
And what's wild here is who they're targeting. According to the reports, this isn't just some local grassroots grumbling. No, the frustration is aimed squarely at the very top of the TMC. We're talking about prominent voices openly questioning former Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and her nephew Abhishek Banerjee. When a party loses power, that whole shield of unity often just vanishes, and that is exactly what we're seeing unfold.
Moving on to Section 2, let's look at our first major aftershock, the spokesperson's shocking apology. We're going to focus on a highly visible figure in all this, suspended TMC spokesperson Riju Dutta.
Now just look at this contrast. Before the defeat, Dutta was this fierce, frontline defender for the TMC on all those intense TV debate panels. But then, post-defeat, he drops a video on X, formerly Twitter, publicly apologizing to BJP leader of opposition Suvendu Adhikari for his past abusive remarks. Going from a loyal defender to issuing a public apology to your main opposition, that is a massive, massive pivot. So how on earth does he explain this sudden flip? Well, Dutta actually claims in his own words that he was, quote, under intense pressure and threats from within the TMC to make those remarks. He says he was basically forced into it. And get this, reports show he has now publicly praised the BJP for offering him protection. It really just goes to show how incredibly fast alliances can fracture when the political winds shift.
All right, that brings us to Section 3, the 5 crore ticket claim. Because if Riju Dutta's apology was a tremor, this next allegation from ex-minister Manoj Tiwari is a full-blown earthquake originating deep within the former cabinet.
5 crore rupees. Let that sink in for a second. This isn't some tiny administrative dispute. This is a massive, explosive allegation about the financial hurdles of running for office brought forward by a former cricketer and ex-minister.
Tiwari flat-out claims that 5 crore rupees was demanded from each candidate just to get a party ticket for the 2026 West Bengal Assembly elections. And the kicker? He says he absolutely refused to pay it. Having a former state minister make this kind of public claim is a direct hit to the party's internal electoral integrity.
But wait, Tiwari didn't stop at the money. There was collateral damage. He also went after senior minister Arup Biswas, claiming Biswas had zero understanding of sports. He specifically pointed to Lionel Messi's visit to the city last year, saying Biswas mismanaged it so badly that the whole event ended in a total fiasco. This matters because he isn't just arguing about politics here, he's calling out fundamental operational incompetence right at the top.
Let's jump into Section 4, pointing fingers at leadership. The ripples just keep expanding, and we're seeing a growing chorus of dissenters taking aim directly at how the party is actually being run.
Yeah, it wasn't just Dutta and Tiwari breaking rank. We've got spokespersons like Kohinoor Majumdar and Kartik Ghosh, senior Malda leader Krishnendu Narayan Chaudhary, and even Papia Ghosh, who is the daughter of a senior Cooch Bihar leader. They're all publicly voicing their grievances. This discontent is spreading across entirely different regions and roles within the party.
If we break down these grievances side by side, a pretty clear theme emerges. Kohinoor Majumdar said leaders had to wait for hours just to get a meeting with Abhishek Banerjee. Krishnendu N. Chaudhary blamed the Malda loss squarely on Abhishek's style, his lack of access, and how he treated senior leaders. And Rabindranath Ghosh echoed those exact same public criticisms about his leadership style. The common thread here is undeniably pointing to issues with accessibility and management at the absolute highest level.
Okay, on to Section 5, the party strikes back. With all this highly public criticism flying around, we have to look at exactly how the TMC apparatus responded to the chaos.
To manage the fallout, the party immediately drew a hard line around what they call anti-party remarks. They are defining this as any statement or action that violates party discipline, and they are aggressively using this mechanism right now to enforce order and officially justify kicking out these dissenting voices.
The response was incredibly swift. First, they told Riju Dutta to face a disciplinary panel, a summons he completely ignored, by the way. So, step 2, boom, a massive 6-year suspension for 3 spokespersons, Dutta, Majumdar, and Kartik Ghosh. 6 years! And they've also initiated active disciplinary action against Papia Ghosh. It is a highly calculated move to just amputate the dissent before it spreads any further. Meanwhile, what's the strategy from the rest of the top brass? Absolute radio silence. Senior leaders including Derek O'Brien and Chandrama Bhattacharya are strictly sticking to no comment. They are totally refusing to address the internal turmoil, the 5 crore ticket claims, or the suspensions with the press. It's basically a complete information blackout from the top down.
And that brings us to the ultimate question as we wrap up this explainer. Will these harsh, swift 6-year suspensions actually seal the cracks and restore party unity? Or will the sting of defeat and not having the fear of political retribution from a sitting government over their heads just encourage even more voices to break rank in the coming days? How a party manages the tremors after a loss tells you everything about its future structural health. Really makes you wonder what's going to happen next, doesn't it? Thanks for joining me to unpack all this source material and keep questioning what you see on the political stage.